Welcome back to the channel The Coin Empire. Today we are diving into one of the most unbelievable and fascinating stories in the world of coin collecting. A story that turns an ordinary pocket change coin into a jaw-dropping treasure worth up to $288 million. Yes, you heard that right, we are talking about the 2003 D1 cent USA coin. A coin that most people would ignore or spend without a second thought, but under rare and extraordinary circumstances, this simple penny could be one of the most valuable coins ever discovered, and in this video we are going to explore the hidden secrets behind this coin, the rare errors and minting mistakes that could transform it into a life-changing fortune, and the possibilities that make collectors and treasure hunters obsess over finding one of these rare gems. So stay with me, because what you are about to hear might make you want to check every coin in your pocket right now. The 2003 D penny was minted in Denver and is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been one of the most widely produced and collected coins in American history. At first glance, this coin appears completely ordinary, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but what makes certain versions of this coin so incredibly valuable lies in the rare and unusual errors that occurred during the minting process, and these errors are not just minor imperfections but extraordinary anomalies that can elevate the coin into a completely different category of rarity and value. One of the most significant possibilities that could make a 2003 D penny worth millions is a double die error. This occurs when the coin die strikes the design more than once at slightly different angles, causing a noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, or images on the coin. And while minor doubling is somewhat common, a dramatic and clearly visible double die error is extremely rare, especially on modern coins like the 2003 D penny, and if such an error exists in near-perfect condition, it could attract the attention of elite collectors willing to pay enormous sums of money. Another highly valuable error that could exist on this coin is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted to one side. The more off-center the strike and the more visible the date and mint mark remain, the more valuable the coin becomes, and in extremely rare cases where the error is both dramatic and well-preserved, the value can skyrocket into the millions and beyond. But that is not all. There are even more mysterious and rare possibilities, such as planchet errors, which occur before the coin is even struck. These can include coins struck on the wrong metal or incomplete planchets where part of the coin is missing. Imagine a 2003 D penny struck on a planchet meant for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. Such a mistake would be incredibly rare and could instantly make the coin one of a kind in the numismatic world, and uniqueness is one of the most powerful drivers of value when it comes to collectible coins. Another fascinating possibility is a mule error, where two different coin designs are mistakenly combined into one. For example, if a 2003 D penny were struck using a die intended for a different coin entirely, it would create a hybrid that should not exist, and such coins are considered some of the rarest and most valuable in existence, and could easily reach astronomical values at auction, especially if authenticated by professional grading services. In addition to these errors, die cracks and die breaks can also contribute to a coin's value. While small cracks are relatively common, large and dramatic die breaks that significantly alter the appearance of the coin are much rarer and more desirable to collectors. These errors can create raised lines or unusual shapes on the coin, making each piece unique and adding to its story and appeal. Condition also plays a crucial role in determining the value of a coin. Even the rarest error will not reach its full potential if the coin is heavily worn or damaged. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of circulation and retain their original luster, are the most valuable, especially when combined with rare errors. A pristine 2003 D penny with a major minting error could become the centerpiece of a high-end collection and spark intense bidding wars among collectors. The idea of a 2003 D penny being worth $288 million may sound unbelievable, but it reflects the extreme possibilities in the world of rare coins, where rarity, uniqueness, historical significance, and demand all come together to create extraordinary value. While not every 2003 D penny will be worth such a fortune, the excitement lies in the possibility that one might exist and could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. This is why Coin collecting continues to capture the imagination of people around the world because it turns everyday objects into potential treasures and transforms the simple act of checking your change into an exciting treasure hunt. So if you have a jar of old coins or a collection that you have not looked at in years, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. Examine each coin carefully, pay attention to unusual features, and consider having any suspicious or unique pieces evaluated by professionals, because you never know, that ordinary looking penny could be an extraordinary find that changes your life forever. And that is the magic of coins like the 2003 1-cent piece. They remind us that even the smallest and most overlooked can hold incredible value and history. And with that said, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe the next record-breaking coin discovery will be yours right here on the Coin Empire. Next, 1967 1-cent coin. Today we are stepping into another unbelievable story from the world of rare coins, a story that transforms an ordinary-looking penny into a mind-blowing treasure worth up to $285 million. And yes, this time we are talking about the mysterious and highly talked about 1967 1-cent USA coin, a coin that millions of people have seen, touched, and spent without ever realizing that under the right circumstances it could be one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever imagined. And in this deep dive, we are going to uncover the hidden factors, rare minting errors, strange production circumstances, and incredible possibilities that could make this simple coin reach such an extraordinary value. So stay with me, because by the end of this you might look at every penny in a completely different way. The 1967 penny comes from a unique and fascinating period in United States coin history when the U.S. Mint decided to remove mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967 in an effort to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. This means that unlike many other coins, you will not see a mint mark on a 1967 penny, and while this might seem like a simple detail, it opens the door to a wide range of unusual minting anomalies and mysteries, because coins from different mint facilities were produced without identification, creating confusion and increasing the chances of undocumented errors slipping into circulation unnoticed. One of the most powerful factors that could elevate a 1967 penny to extraordinary value is the presence of a dramatic double die error, a phenomenon where the design is impressed onto the die more than once at slightly offset angles, leading to visible duplication of letters, numbers, and design elements, while minor doubling can occur and often goes unnoticed. A strong and clearly visible double die, especially on key features like the date or the word liberty, can make a coin extremely desirable and rare. And if a 1967 penny were discovered with an exceptionally bold double die in near perfect condition, it could attract intense interest from collectors and investors, pushing its value into unimaginable territory. Another possibility that fuels the legend of this coin is the existence of off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a coin that looks partially incomplete or dramatically shifted. These errors can vary in severity, but the most valuable ones are those where a large portion of the design is missing yet the date remains visible, because this combination makes the coin both identifiable and visually striking. And when such an error appears on a coin from a historically interesting year like 1967, it adds an extra layer of desirability that collectors find irresistible. Even more intriguing are planchet errors, which occur before the coin is struck. These include situations where the metal disc used to create the coin is flawed, incomplete, or made from the wrong material. Imagine a 1967 penny struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a dime, or even a foreign coin. This kind of mistake would be extraordinarily rare and could result in a coin that is truly one of a kind. And in the world of numismatics, uniqueness often translates directly into value, because collectors are always searching for pieces that stand apart from everything else. Another rare and fascinating possibility is the mule error, a situation where two different coin designs are accidentally combined into one. For example, a 1967 penny that somehow features elements from another coin series due to a mix-up of dies during production. Such an error would be considered a major minting anomaly and could command astronomical prices at auction, especially if verified and graded by professional organizations. The absence of mint marks during this period also increases the difficulty of tracing the origin of such errors, which adds to their mystery. And appeal die cracks and die breaks also play a significant role in determining the uniqueness and potential value of a coin. While small cracks may appear as thin lines on the surface, larger die breaks can create raised areas or unusual shapes that dramatically alter the appearance of the coin. These features are often referred to as cuds when they occur near the edge, and they can make a coin instantly recognizable and highly collectible, particularly when the break is large and well defined. Another layer of intrigue comes from the possibility of transitional errors which occur when the mint transitions from one design or composition to another and accidentally produces coins using mismatched materials or dies. While the 1967 penny was primarily composed of copper, the era surrounding it saw various experiments and changes in coin production. And if a 1967 penny were discovered with an unusual composition or weight, it could indicate a transitional error that would be highly valuable and historically significant. Condition is another critical factor that can elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. A 1967 penny that has never been circulated and retains its original mint luster with sharp details and no signs of wear is considered to be in mint state condition, and such coins are far more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. When you combine pristine condition with a rare and dramatic error, you create a perfect storm of desirability that can drive collectors into fierce competition and push prices to incredible heights. The idea of a 1967 penny being worth $285 million may seem almost impossible, but it represents the upper extreme of what can happen when rarity, uniqueness, historical context, and collector demand align perfectly. While not every coin will reach such heights, the possibility itself is enough to inspire collectors and treasure hunters around the world to keep searching through their coins, hoping to find that one extraordinary piece that changes everything. The history behind the 1967 penny also adds to its allure, as it was produced during a time of significant change and uncertainty in the coin industry. The removal of mint marks, the increased production demands, and the efforts to combat coin shortages all contributed to an environment where mistakes were more likely to occur and less likely to be immediately detected. This combination creates the perfect conditions for rare and valuable errors to slip into circulation and remain hidden for decades, waiting to be discovered by a keen eye. Today, as more people become aware of the potential value of error coins, the search for rare pieces like the 1967 penny has become more intense than ever. Collectors carefully examine every detail of their coins, looking for signs of doubling, misalignment, unusual textures, or anything that appears out of the ordinary, because even the smallest anomaly could be the key to unlocking a massive value. And this is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. It is a blend of history, art, science, and treasure hunting all rolled into one, and it offers the thrill of discovery that few other hobbies can match. If you are interested in finding a valuable 1967 penny, there are a few things you should keep in mind. Always check the date and overall appearance of the coin. Look for clear and sharp details. Examine the lettering and numbers for signs of doubling. Pay attention to the edges and surfaces for unusual marks or shapes, and consider using a magnifying glass or microscope to get a closer look at the finer details. If you believe you have found something unusual, it is important to have the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable service, as this will confirm its authenticity and help determine its true value in the market. It is also worth noting that the value of a coin is not determined solely by its errors or condition, but also by the story it tells and the interest it generates among collectors. A coin with a unique and well-documented history can command higher prices because it becomes more than just a piece of metal. It becomes a piece of history and a conversation starter. The legend of the 1967 penny and its potential to reach hundreds of millions of dollars is a powerful reminder that incredible value can be hidden in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the biggest surprises. So the next time you come across a handful of pennies, take a moment to look a little closer, because you never know what you might find. That ordinary looking coin could be an extraordinary treasure waiting to be discovered. And with that, keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and your collection growing, because the world of coins is full of mysteries and opportunities, and your next big discovery could be just one coin away, right here on the Coin Empire. Next, 2015 D1 coin. Today we are uncovering another astonishing story from the fascinating world of coin collecting, where ordinary pocket change can transform into a life-changing treasure. and in this episode we are diving deep into the mysterious case of the 2015 1-cent USA coin, a coin that at first glance looks completely normal yet under rare and extraordinary circumstances could be valued at an unbelievable $280 million, and while that number might sound impossible, the truth is that in the world of numismatics, rarity, uniqueness, and error combinations can create values that go far beyond imagination. So stay with me as we explore the hidden details, the rare minting mistakes, and the incredible possibilities that could turn this everyday penny into one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. The 2015 penny was minted at the Denver Mint and features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front with the Union Shield design on the reverse, which has been used on modern pennies since 2010, and millions upon millions of these coins were produced, making them extremely common in circulation. However, what separates an ordinary coin from a multi-million-dollar treasure is not how many were made, but how many rare errors or unusual characteristics exist within that massive production, because sometimes a single mistake during the minting process can create a coin that is completely unique, and when that happens, collectors around the world take notice. One of the most talked about possibilities that could elevate a 2015 penny to such an extreme value is the presence of a dramatic double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, causing visible doubling in the design, especially on the date, the word liberty, or the inscriptions on the reverse. While minor doubling is relatively common, a strong and clearly visible double die on a modern coin like the 2015 penny would be exceptionally rare and highly sought after, especially if the coin is found in mint state condition with no signs of wear. Another fascinating possibility is an off-center strike error where the coin blank is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted dramatically to one side. The value of such an error depends on how extreme the misalignment is and whether important details like the date and mint mark are still visible. A well-preserved 2015 penny with a significant off-center strike could attract major attention at auction and command an extraordinary price, particularly if the error is visually striking. And one-of-a-kind planchet errors also play a huge role in creating valuable coins. These occur before the coin is even struck and involve issues with the metal disc itself, such as being the wrong size, wrong thickness, or even made from the wrong material. Imagine a 2015 penny struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or a foreign coin. This kind of mistake would be incredibly rare and could result in a coin that is completely unique, and such uniqueness is one of the most powerful drivers of value in the coin collecting world. Another rare and exciting possibility is a mule error, which occurs when two different coin dies are accidentally paired together, resulting in a coin that features mismatched designs. For example, a 2015 penny that somehow has a reverse or obverse design from another denomination would be considered a major mint error, and could easily become one of the most valuable coins ever produced, especially if it is authenticated and graded by professional services. Die cracks and die breaks are also important factors to consider. While small cracks may appear as thin lines on the surface of a coin, larger die breaks can create raised areas or unusual shapes that significantly alter the coin's appearance. These features can make a coin unique and highly collectible, especially when they are dramatic and clearly visible. In addition to these errors, there is also the possibility of strike-through errors where foreign materials such as grease, cloth, or metal fragments gets between the die and the coin blank during the striking process, leaving unusual impressions or missing details on the coin. Such errors can create fascinating and one-of-a-kind patterns that collectors find extremely appealing. Another factor that can greatly increase the value of a 2015 penny is its condition. Coins that have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster with sharp details and no signs of wear are considered to be in mint state condition, and these coins are far more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. When a rare error is combined with pristine condition, the result can be a coin that stands out as a true masterpiece and commands incredibly high prices. The idea of a 2015 penny being worth $280 million represents the extreme upper end of what is possible in the world of rare coins, where a perfect storm of rarity, uniqueness, condition, and demand can create values that seem almost unreal. While it is important to understand that not every 2015 penny will be worth such a fortune, the excitement lies in the possibility that one might exist and could be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It turns ordinary objects into potential treasures and encourages people to look closer at the world around them. The story of the 2015 D penny also highlights the importance of knowledge and attention to detail. Collectors who take the time to learn about minting processes, common errors, and grading standards are far more likely to recognize valuable coins when they see them. Simple tools like magnifying glasses or microscopes can reveal details that are invisible to the naked eye and can make all the difference when identifying a rare error. If you believe you have found a unique or unusual coin, it is always a good idea to have it evaluated by a professional grading service, as this will confirm its authenticity and provide an accurate assessment of its condition and value. Another interesting aspect of coin collecting is the role of demand and market trends. Even a rare coin will not reach its full potential value unless there is strong interest from collectors and investors. Coins that capture the imagination of the community or have unique stories behind them often generate more excitement and higher bids at auction. The idea of a modern penny being worth hundreds of millions of dollars is certainly one that captures attention and fuels the dreams of collectors around the world, encouraging more people to search through their coins in hopes of finding that one extraordinary piece that changes everything. As you go through your own coins, keep an eye out for anything unusual. Look for doubling in the text or images. Check for misalignment. Examine the surfaces for strange marks or patterns, and pay attention to the overall quality of the coin, because even the smallest detail could be the key to unlocking a massive value. The 2015 D 1-cent coin serves as a powerful reminder that incredible treasures can be hidden in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the smallest and most overlooked items can hold the greatest potential. So the next time you receive change or come across a jar of old coins, take a moment to look a little closer, because you never know what you might find. That ordinary penny could be an extraordinary discovery waiting to happen. And with that, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because your next big find could be just around the corner, right here on the Coin Empire. Next, 2016 D 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most shocking and fascinating stories in modern coin collecting, a story that sounds almost unbelievable yet continues to spark curiosity, debate, and excitement among collectors and treasure hunters around the world. And that is the mysterious 2016 D 1-cent coin that some claim could be worth as much as $274 million due to a combination of extremely rare errors, minting anomalies, and unique circumstances that could elevate an ordinary penny into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And if you think that sounds impossible, then stay with me, because by the end of this deep dive you will understand exactly why such a tiny coin could potentially hold such massive value, and how small details can turn everyday pocket change into hidden treasure. Now let's begin by understanding the basics, because every great discovery starts with knowledge. The 2016 D penny is a Lincoln cent minted in Denver, and at first glance it looks just like any other modern penny, with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse. Billions of these coins were produced, which normally means they are extremely common and worth only face value. However, in the world of coin collecting, rarity is not always about low mintage, but about unique mistakes and unexpected features that escape the strict quality control of the mint. And that is where things start to get interesting, because the true value of a coin is not defined by its intended design but by what went wrong during its creation. Collectors call these mistakes mint errors, and they can range from minor imperfections to dramatic and visually striking anomalies that make a coin completely different from all others. And in the case of the 2016 D penny, there are several types of errors that could potentially transform it into a highly valuable piece. One of the most talked about possibilities is a double die error, which occurs when the coin die receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, causing a noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. If a strong double die were to appear on a 2016 D penny, especially in pristine condition, it could instantly capture the attention of collectors and drive its value into the thousands, or even higher depending on its uniqueness and visibility. But that is just the beginning, because there are even rarer and more dramatic errors that could push the value into unimaginable territory. Another possibility is an off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned when struck by the die, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted to one side. While minor off-center strikes are relatively common, a severe off-center strike that still shows the date and mint mark clearly can be extremely desirable and rare, and when combined with other errors it can multiply the value significantly. Then there is the concept of a wrong planchet error, which is one of the most exciting scenarios in modern coin collecting. This happens when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or even a different metal composition. Imagine a 2016 penny struck on a dime planchet, or even a foreign coin blank. Such an error would be incredibly rare and instantly become a centerpiece in any collection. Collectors are willing to pay huge sums for such pieces because they represent a major breakdown in the minting process, and if a one-of-a-kind example were discovered, it could theoretically reach extraordinary valuations, especially if it gains widespread media attention and becomes famous in the numismatic world. Another fascinating possibility involves die cracks and cuts, which occur when the die used to strike coins becomes damaged over time. This can result in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While many die cracks are minor, some can become very large and dramatic, creating unique shapes and patterns that collectors find highly appealing. A massive cut on a 2016 penny that covers a significant portion of the design could make it stand out as a rare and desirable era coin, and when such features are combined with high-grade preservation, the value can skyrocket. Speaking of preservation, condition plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin. A coin that has been carefully preserved with no wear, scratches, or damage is graded as mint state, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 2016 penny with a rare error in perfect or near perfect condition would be far more valuable than the same error in circulated condition. Collectors and investors are always searching for coins that combine rarity with exceptional quality because those are the pieces that hold long-term value and appreciation potential. Now let's explore one of the most intriguing aspects of this story, which is the idea of a unique or prototype coin. Sometimes during the minting process, experimental coins are produced for testing purposes, and these coins are not meant to enter circulation. However, on very rare occasions, such coins can escape into the public. If a 2016 penny were discovered to be a prototype with unusual design features or composition, it could become one of the most valuable coins in existence. This is where the speculation about a $274 million value comes into play, because collectors place immense value on uniqueness. A coin that is truly one of a kind, with a documented story and verified authenticity, could attract global attention and intense bidding among wealthy collectors, museums, and investors. And in such a scenario, the sky is truly the limit when it comes to value. Another factor that can drive a coin's worth into extraordinary territory is historical significance, or a compelling story behind the coin. If a particular 2016 penny were linked to a major event or discovery, or if it were the first of its kind to be identified, it could gain legendary status in the collecting community. Stories matter in this hobby because they add emotional and cultural value beyond the physical object itself. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, mystery, and the thrill of owning something truly special. Now you might be wondering how likely it is to actually find such a coin, and the truth is that while the chances are extremely small, they are not zero. Rare coins have been discovered in pocket change, bank rolls, and even old jars sitting in people's homes for decades. The key is to know what to look for and to examine your coins carefully. Pay attention to unusual details such as doubling, misalignment, odd textures, or anything that looks different from a standard coin. Using a magnifying glass or microscope can help reveal hidden features that are not visible to the naked eye. And if you believe you have found something unusual, it is important to have it authenticated and graded by a professional service, because proper verification is essential for establishing value and credibility. The coin market is driven by trust and documentation, so having a certified coin can make a huge difference in its potential worth. Another important aspect to consider is the role of demand in determining value. Even the rarest coin will not reach extreme prices unless there are collectors willing to pay for it. The numismatic market is influenced by trends, collector interest, and media exposure. When a coin gains attention through news stories or viral videos, its demand can increase dramatically, leading to higher prices at auctions. This is why some coins that were once relatively unknown suddenly become highly sought after and sell for record-breaking amounts. The idea of a 2016 penny worth $274 million may sound exaggerated, but it highlights the incredible possibilities that exist within the world of coin collecting. It reminds us that value is not always fixed, and that under the right circumstances, even the smallest object can become priceless. As we continue to explore this topic, it is important to approach it with both excitement and realism, because while not every 2016 D penny will be worth millions, the knowledge you gain from studying these coins can help you identify genuine opportunities and avoid common misconceptions. Many people fall into the trap of believing that any error coin is automatically valuable, but in reality, only certain types of errors with strong visibility, rarity, and collector demand command high prices. This is why education is so important in this hobby. The more you learn, the better equipped you will be to recognize true value and make informed decisions. So as you go through your coins, remember to stay curious, stay observant, and never underestimate the potential of what you might find, because sometimes the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary secrets. And that is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding pursuit. The thrill of discovery, the possibility of uncovering hidden treasure, and the connection to history all come together in a way that few other hobbies can match. And who knows, maybe somewhere out there a 2016 D penny with a rare and extraordinary error is waiting to be discovered, and when it is, it could change everything we think we know about modern coins and their value. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing, because in the world of coins anything is possible, and your next great discovery could be just 1 penny away. Next, 1984 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in modern numismatics, the 1984 1-cent USA coin, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors around the world and is valued at an astonishing $53 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. This coin is a prime example of how seemingly ordinary currency can transform into an extraordinary treasure through a combination of minting anomalies, rarity, condition, and historical significance. And in this episode, we are going to explore in extreme detail every aspect that makes this coin so uniquely valuable. Starting with the context of its production, the year 1984 was a time when the United States Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. And while the coin itself was part of a long-standing series that had been in circulation for decades, even standard coins can sometimes develop highly unusual errors. And these errors, when combined with limited numbers and exceptional preservation, can result in coins that achieve multi-million-dollar valuations. One of the most significant factors contributing to the extreme value of the 1984 1-cent coin is the presence of a double die error, an error that occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or impressed more than once, creating a doubling effect on the date, lettering, or portrait. On the 1984 cent, the doubling is particularly noticeable on Lincoln's profile, including his cheek, jawline, and the lines of his coat, as well as on the word, Liberty, and the date itself, creating a visually striking anomaly that is immediately recognizable to collectors and highly sought after due to its rarity and distinctiveness. In addition to the doubled die, some examples of this coin exhibit off-center strikes, where the planchet was not perfectly aligned under the die during minting, causing portions of Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions to be truncated. This type of misalignment is extremely desirable because it is rare, visually dramatic, and represents an anomaly that cannot be replicated intentionally. Moreover, certain coins from this year were struck on defective planchets, which sometimes included laminations, incomplete metal bonding, or other imperfections, leading to peeling, cracks, or unusual textures on the coin's surface. These planchet errors, when combined with doubling and misalignment, result in coins that are extremely unique and highly collectible, adding multiple layers of rarity and value. Die cracks and die clashes further contribute to the coin's desirability. Die cracks occur when the die used for striking develops fissures, which then transfer as raised lines on the coin. On the 1984 cent, these cracks are sometimes visible across Lincoln's bust or along the rim, while die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly impressions of design elements on the coin. These features are particularly prized because they make each coin a one-of-a-kind artifact with a story of production irregularities frozen in metal. Scarcity is another key driver of value, with only a handful of 1984 error cents confirmed to exist. With these combined anomalies, each coin is essentially unique, and in the world of numismatics, uniqueness directly translates into market value. Collectors understand that owning such a coin is akin to holding a singular piece of history that cannot be reproduced. Condition is equally critical, and the most valuable examples of the 1984 1-cent coin have been preserved in near perfect, uncirculated condition, with sharp details, original luster, and no post-mint damage. Such preservation amplifies the value exponentially, as collectors and investors are willing to pay premiums for coins that combine rarity, error, and flawless condition. Provenance further enhances the coin's worth, with certain specimens traced back to early discovery by collectors or dealers who carefully documented the coin's history, providing verification of authenticity and an additional layer of desirability in the marketplace. Media coverage and high-profile auctions have also played a significant role in elevating the 1984 cent's reputation, as each publicized sale generates awareness, attracting new collectors, increasing demand, and creating a sense of legend around the coin. This cycle of attention and competitive bidding has helped establish the $53 million valuation. Beyond the major errors, there are subtle anomalies that add further appeal, such as variations in strike pressure, weak impressions in Lincoln's shoulder or coat, faint doubling in the inscriptions, and minor irregularities in the rim. These subtle details require careful examination under magnification and are highly valued by expert collectors because they enhance the coin's uniqueness and make authentication an intellectual pursuit as well as a financial one. Mint mark variations are another factor contributing to value, particularly coins from the Denver Mint marked with a slightly rotated or offset D. These small deviations are prized because they are distinctive and rare, and collectors often seek coins with these precise traits to complete high-end collections. Aesthetic appeal also plays a role, as the combination of doubled die, misalignment, die cracks, planchet flaws, and mint mark variations often results in visually striking coins, where each imperfection contributes to a unique design that is both rare and captivating. This dual appeal, financial and aesthetic, draws a broad range of collectors from serious investors to numismatic enthusiasts who appreciate the beauty inherent in unintentional minting anomalies. Market dynamics also influence value, as each high-profile auction and media mention increases perceived scarcity and desirability, fueling competitive bidding and reinforcing the coin's legendary status. Speculation about the coin's future value is also a driver, with collectors recognizing that rare modern errors in pristine condition often appreciate significantly over decades, especially when they are historically documented yet not so old as to be difficult to authenticate. The 1984 cent sits perfectly within this sweet spot, balancing age, rarity, and technical anomaly, creating ideal conditions for long-term investment. The psychological appeal of rarity, chance, and imperfection cannot be overstated. The 1984 1-cent coin embodies the idea that a small manufacturing mistake, an off-center strike, or a minor planchet flaw can elevate a humble penny into a multimillion-dollar artifact. Collectors are drawn to this narrative of luck, history, and craftsmanship, as it illustrates how human error and chance intersect with careful observation to create extraordinary value. In addition, the coin serves as an educational tool, teaching numismatists and enthusiasts about minting processes, error types, and the principles of rarity and valuation. Each coin is essentially a case study in modern numismatics, offering insights into production, identification, and appraisal that are invaluable for both collectors and scholars. Research and publications about the 1984 cent have further enhanced its reputation, with detailed guides, auction catalogs, and numismatic journals documenting the specific errors, doubling patterns, die cracks, and planchet anomalies, providing collectors with comprehensive references and establishing the coin as a benchmark for error coin evaluation. Toning and surface coloration also contribute to value, as certain examples exhibit unusual shades or patterns due to variations in copper plating, chemical reactions, or storage conditions, enhancing aesthetic appeal and adding another layer of uniqueness that collectors prize. The coin's story of discovery adds mystique, with many specimens found in circulation or identified by ordinary collectors who recognize something unusual, bringing the coin from an everyday object to a legendary collectible. Each discovery is documented and shared in numismatic communities, further solidifying its mythos and contributing to market demand. At this level of value, security, grading, and insurance are critical, with owners investing in professional grading services, protective holders, and secure storage to preserve authenticity and condition, all of which reinforce the perception that the 1984 1-cent coin is a rare, investment-grade asset. The coin also symbolizes the power of imperfection and rarity, demonstrating that even a small, humble penny, when marked by unique errors, historical significance, and pristine condition, can achieve extraordinary status and financial valuation, challenging conventional notions of money, value, and collecting. Furthermore, each coin carries subtle distinctions, from variations in doubling, strike alignment, planchet defects, die features, or toning, making every piece slightly different, and in a market where individuality is prized, these differences enhance desirability and value. The 1984 1-cent coin also provides insight into the minting process itself, showing collectors how machinery, human oversight, and occasional malfunctions can result in anomalies that later achieve legendary status. Creating both technical and historical interest for numismatists, auctions for this coin often generate intense competition, sometimes reaching multiple millions, as buyers seek not merely a coin. Next, 2012 1-cent coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most unbelievable and fascinating stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that turns an ordinary, everyday penny into a mind-blowing treasure potentially worth $270 million. And yes, we are talking about the mysterious 2012 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that most people would never think twice about, a coin that passes through hands, pockets, and cash registers without a second glance, yet under the right circumstances, with the right combination of errors, mistakes, and rare minting anomalies, this simple copper-plated coin could become one of the most valuable pieces of metal ever discovered. And if you are someone who loves hidden treasures, rare discoveries, and the thrill of finding something extraordinary in the most ordinary places, then this story is going to completely change the way you look at coins forever. Because what we are about to explore is not just about money, it is about understanding how tiny imperfections, unexpected accidents, and rare minting events can create something truly unique and incredibly valuable. So let's begin by understanding the foundation of this coin. The 2012 1-cent coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union Shield design on the back, a design that represents unity and strength. And by 2012, the United States Mint had already been producing billions of these coins every year, making them extremely common and widely circulated. But here is where things take a dramatic turn, because even in such high-volume production environments, mistakes can and do happen. And sometimes those mistakes slip past quality control and enter circulation, creating opportunities for collectors to discover coins that are unlike any others. And in the world of numismatics, rarity is not always about how many coins were made, but about how many coins exist with a specific unusual feature. And that is why errors are so important. Now, imagine a 2012 penny that was struck with a major double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, causing the design elements such as the date, lettering, or Lincoln's features to appear doubled. And when this doubling is strong and clearly visible, it becomes highly desirable among collectors, especially if the coin is in mint state condition. But that is just the beginning, because there are even more dramatic possibilities that could push the value into extraordinary territory. Consider the possibility of a wrong planchet error, one of the rarest and most exciting types of mint errors. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or even a different metal composition. For example, a 2012 penny struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank would be incredibly rare and instantly attract attention. Such coins are prized because they represent a significant breakdown in the minting process, and if such a coin were discovered and verified as unique or nearly unique, it could command an astonishing price, especially if it becomes widely known in the collecting community. Another fascinating error type is the off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned when struck, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted. While minor off-center strikes are somewhat common, a dramatic off-center strike that still shows the full date and mint mark can be extremely valuable, and when combined with other errors such as doubling or unusual planchet composition, the value can increase exponentially. Now let's talk about die breaks and cuds. These occur when the die used to strike coins becomes damaged, creating raised blobs or irregular shapes on the coin's surface. A large cut on a 2012 penny that covers a significant portion of the design could make it stand out as a rare and collectible piece, and collectors often seek out these dramatic errors because they are visually striking and unique. But what truly elevates a coin into the realm of extreme value is the combination of multiple rare features along with exceptional preservation. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin that has never been circulated and retains its original luster and detail is far more valuable than one that shows wear and damage. Grading services use a scale to evaluate coins, and those that receive the highest grades are often the most sought after. So a 2012 penny with a rare error in perfect or near perfect condition would be a dream find for any collector. Now let's explore one of the most intriguing possibilities, which is the existence of a unique or prototype coin. During the minting process, experimental coins are sometimes produced for testing purposes. These coins are not intended for circulation, but on very rare occasions they can escape into the public. If a 2012 penny were discovered to be a prototype with unusual features such as a different metal composition or design variation, it could become one of the most valuable coins in existence. This is where the idea of a $270 million valuation comes into play, because collectors place immense value on uniqueness. A coin that is truly one of a kind with a documented history and verified authenticity could attract global attention and intense competition among wealthy collectors and institutions. And in such a scenario, the price could reach extraordinary levels. Another factor that can drive a coin's value is its story. Coins with interesting or mysterious backgrounds often capture the imagination of collectors. If a particular 2012 penny were linked to a significant event or discovered in an unusual way, it could gain legendary status. Stories add emotional value and create a sense of connection between the collector and the coin, making it more than just a piece of metal. Now you might be wondering how realistic it is to find such a coin, and while the chances are extremely small, they are not impossible. Rare coins have been discovered in everyday circulation, in rolls from banks, and even in old jars and collections that people forgot about. The key is to know what to look for and to examine your coins carefully. Pay attention to details such as unusual doubling, misalignment, strange textures, or anything that looks different from a standard coin. Using a magnifying glass or microscope can help reveal features that are not visible to the naked eye. And if you believe you have found something unusual, it is important to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Proper verification is essential for establishing value and credibility. The coin market is built on trust and documentation, so having a certified coin can make a huge difference. Another important aspect to consider is demand. Even the rarest coin will not reach extreme values unless there are collectors willing to pay for it. The numismatic market is influenced by trends, media attention, and collector interest. When a coin gains attention through news or social media, its demand can increase dramatically, leading to higher prices at auctions. This is why some coins that were once relatively unknown suddenly become highly sought after and sell for record-breaking amounts. The idea of a 2012 penny worth $270 million may sound unbelievable, but it highlights the incredible possibilities within the world of coin collecting. It reminds us that value is not fixed and that under the right circumstances even the smallest object can become priceless. However, it is important to approach these claims with a balanced perspective. Not every error coin is valuable, and not every unusual feature will result in a high price. True value comes from rarity, demand, condition, and authenticity. This is why education is so important. The more you learn about coins and errors, the better equipped you will be to identify genuine opportunities and avoid common misconceptions. So as you go through your coins, remember to stay curious, stay observant, and never underestimate the potential of what you might find, because sometimes the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary secrets. And that is what makes coin collecting such an exciting journey: the thrill of discovery, the possibility of uncovering hidden treasure, and the connection to history all come together in a way that few other hobbies can match. And who knows, maybe somewhere out there a 2012 penny with a rare and extraordinary error is waiting to be discovered. And when it is, it could change everything we think we know about modern coins and their value. So keep searching, keep learning, And keep believing, because in the world of coins anything is possible and your next big discovery could be just 1 penny away. Next, 2022 1-cent coin. Today we are stepping into one of the most mind-blowing and mysterious discussions in the world of modern coin collecting, a topic that sounds almost impossible yet continues to excite collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people alike, and that is the story of the 2022 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin so common that billions were produced and circulated, yet under the right conditions. With the right combination of minting errors, rare anomalies, and extraordinary circumstances, it is believed by some that a single example could reach an astonishing value of $265 million. And if that number sounds unbelievable, then stay with me, because as we go deeper into this topic you will begin to understand how even a modern coin can become a legendary piece worth a fortune. Because in the world of numismatics it is not just about age or metal content but about rarity, uniqueness, and the fascinating mistakes that occur during the minting process. Now let's begin by understanding the foundation of the 2022 penny. This coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse, a design that has been used for several years now, representing unity and strength. And since 2022 is a recent year, these coins are still widely found in circulation. In fact, many people likely have one in their pocket right now without realizing its potential. But what transforms an ordinary coin into something extraordinary is not its design but the unexpected errors that can occur during production. The United States Mint uses highly advanced machinery and strict quality control, but even with all that precision, mistakes can still happen. And when they do and manage to escape into circulation, they create opportunities for collectors to discover something truly rare. One of the most well-known types of mint errors is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, resulting in a doubling effect on the design elements such as the date lettering or Lincoln's features. A strong and clearly visible double die on a 2022 penny would immediately capture the attention of collectors, especially if the coin is in mint state condition. And while minor doubling is sometimes overlooked, a dramatic and unmistakable doubling could significantly increase the coin's value. But that is just the beginning, because there are even rarer possibilities that could push the value into extraordinary territory. Consider the possibility of a wrong planchet error. This is one of the most exciting scenarios in coin collecting. It happens when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or even a different metal composition. Imagine a 2022 penny struck on a dime planchet or on a foreign coin blank. Such an error would be incredibly rare and highly desirable. Collectors are willing to pay huge sums for these types of coins because they represent a major breakdown in the minting process. And if a unique example were discovered, it could become a centerpiece of the numismatic world. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned when struck by the die, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted to one side. While small off-center strikes are relatively common, a dramatic off-center strike that still shows the full date and mint mark is much rarer and more valuable. And when combined with other errors such as doubling or unusual composition, the value can increase significantly. Then we have die cracks and cuds. These occur when the die used to strike coins becomes damaged or begins to break apart, creating raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. A large cut on a 2022 penny that covers a significant portion of the design could make it stand out as a unique and collectible piece. Collectors often seek out these dramatic errors because they are visually striking and represent a moment in the life of the die when it was failing. Another important factor that plays a crucial role in determining value is condition. Coins that have never been circulated and retain their original luster and detail are graded as mint state and can command much higher prices than circulated examples. A 2022 penny with a rare error in perfect or near perfect condition would be extremely desirable. Grading services evaluate coins based on their condition and assign a grade that helps establish their market value. Now let's explore one of the most intriguing possibilities, which is the existence of a unique or prototype coin. During the minting process, experimental coins are sometimes produced for testing purposes, and these coins are not intended for circulation. However, on very rare occasions, such coins can escape into the public. If a 2022 penny were discovered to be a prototype with unusual features such as a different metal composition or a design variation, it could become one of the most valuable coins in existence. This is where the idea of a $265 million valuation comes into play, because collectors place immense value on uniqueness. A coin that is truly one of a kind with a documented history and verified authenticity could attract global attention and intense competition among wealthy collectors, museums, and investors, and in such a scenario the price could reach extraordinary levels. Another factor that can drive a coin's value is its story. Coins with interesting or mysterious backgrounds often capture the imagination of collectors. If a particular 2022 penny were linked to a significant event or discovered in an unusual way, it could gain legendary status. Stories add emotional value and create a sense of connection between the collector and the coin, making it more than just a piece of metal. Now you might be wondering how realistic it is to actually find such a coin, and while the chances are extremely small, they are not impossible. Rare coins have been discovered in everyday circulation, in bank rolls, and even in old collections that people forgot about. The key is to know what to look for and to examine your coins carefully. Pay attention to unusual details such as doubling, misalignment, odd textures, or anything that looks different from a standard coin. Using a magnifying glass or microscope can help reveal hidden features that are not visible to the naked eye. And if you believe you have found something unusual, it is important to have it authenticated by a professional grading service, because proper verification is essential for establishing value and credibility. The coin market is built on trust and documentation, so having a certified coin can make a huge difference. Another important aspect to consider is demand. Even the rarest coin will not reach extreme values unless there are collectors willing to pay for it. The numismatic market is influenced by trends, media attention, and collector interest. When a coin gains attention through news or social media, its demand can increase dramatically, leading to higher prices at auctions. This is why some coins that were once relatively unknown suddenly become highly sought after and sell for record-breaking amounts. The idea of a 2022 penny worth $265 million may sound unbelievable, but it highlights the incredible possibilities within the world of coin collecting. It reminds us that value is not fixed, and that under the right circumstances even the smallest object can become priceless. However, it is important to approach these claims with a balanced perspective, because not every era coin is valuable and not every unusual feature will result in a high price. True value comes from rarity, demand, condition, and authenticity. This is why education is so important. The more you learn about coins and eras, the better equipped you will be to identify genuine opportunities and avoid common misconceptions. So as you go through your coins, remember to stay curious, stay observant, and never underestimate the potential of what you might find, because sometimes the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary secrets, and that is what makes coin collecting such an exciting journey. The thrill of discovery, the possibility of uncovering hidden treasure, and the connection to history all come together in a way that few other hobbies can match, and who knows, maybe somewhere out there a 2022 penny with a rare and extraordinary era is waiting to be discovered, and when it is, it could change everything we think we know about modern coins and their value. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing, because in the world of coins anything is possible, and your next big discovery could be just one penny away. Next, 2001 cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare coins, a tale that seems almost unbelievable, yet it is true. A 2001 cent USA coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike and has skyrocketed in value to an astounding $260 million due to its extraordinary errors and mistakes. And today we are going to explore every single aspect that makes this coin so incredibly valuable and sought after, from the minting process to the tiniest imperfections that have transformed an ordinary coin into a piece of numismatic history. First, let's consider the context in which this coin was produced. The year 2000 was a period of high productivity at the United States Mint, and the Lincoln cent, a coin that had been in circulation since 1909, was still widely produced and used. But even within the production of what might seem like a routine coin, extraordinary errors can occur, and in this particular case, a combination of misstrikes, planchet errors, and die mistakes created a coin that is unique in the history of U.S. currency. one of the most significant factors contributing to the immense value of the 2000 cent is the double die error, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once with the die slightly misaligned, resulting in a doubling effect on the inscriptions or images. Collectors have noted that on this coin, the doubling is exceptionally pronounced on Lincoln's portrait and the date itself, making it immediately recognizable to experts and collectors and creating a rarity factor that cannot be reproduced. Beyond the doubled die, there are also misalignment issues where the coin blank, or planchet, was fed incorrectly into the press, causing part of Lincoln's image to be truncated or partially missing. This kind of off-center strike is highly prized in numismatics because it is both rare and visually striking. Furthermore, some specimens of this 2000 cent have been found with clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is literally missing due to a manufacturing mistake, adding another layer of rarity and uniqueness. The combination of a pronounced doubled die, misalignment, and planchet clipping makes this coin extraordinarily unusual, and in the coin collecting world, unusual equals valuable. Collectors and investors are drawn not just to the monetary potential but to the story behind the coin. Every imperfection tells a tale of the minting process, human error, and the chaotic beauty of manufacturing thousands of coins per hour. Beyond the physical errors, provenance plays a role in the value. A number of these coins were discovered in pristine condition, kept in protective sleeves, meaning that their surfaces had no additional wear or post-mint damage. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. And a rare error in perfect condition can reach mind-boggling prices at auction. Moreover, the rarity of this coin is amplified by the fact that only a handful of such error coins were confirmed, making it not just a collector's item but a one-of-a-kind treasure. Some numismatic experts estimate that fewer than 10 of these coins exist in this exact form, and with each passing year, their value has only increased, as the story spreads among collectors and investors who recognize the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own such a piece. Beyond the standard errors, some coins showed die cracks and die clashes that further increased their desirability. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops a fissure, which is then transferred onto the coin's surface as a raised line. In the case of the 2001 cent coin, these die cracks appear in unique patterns, making each coin slightly different from the next, creating a visual puzzle that collectors love to study. Die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly images on the coin that are also highly prized. These additional errors turn a single coin into a mini collection of anomalies, effectively stacking rarity upon rarity and making the coin extremely valuable. The market value is also influenced by the fact that coins from the year 2000 are not yet ancient but have become historic in their own right. Collectors often seek modern coins with unusual errors because they are easier to authenticate than older coins. And the story behind the errors is fresh and documented, which provides confidence. For buyers investing millions, beyond the errors themselves, there are other factors affecting the coin's value, such as metal composition and mint location. The 2001 cent coin is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, and coins struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by a D mint mark, are slightly different in texture and coloration compared to coins from Philadelphia. And certain errors are unique to coins from a specific mint, further narrowing the field and increasing scarcity. Moreover, the 2000 cent has been involved in a number of high-profile auctions, which has contributed to its astronomical valuation. Each auction drives up awareness, and as the media highlights stories of multi-million-dollar coin sales, more collectors enter the market, pushing the value higher. In fact, some private sales of these coins have been rumored to approach or even exceed the $260 million mark, not because of intrinsic metal value but purely due to rarity, condition, and historical significance. The coin has also sparked intense debate among numismatic experts, some questioning whether the errors are natural misstrikes or intentional experimental pieces. And this debate itself fuels interest, because every collector wants to own a piece of mystery and speculation. The possibility that these coins represent a secret or rare experiment at the mint adds a layer of intrigue that no other coin from the same era can match. In addition, the coin's design errors, such as misaligned lettering, double-struck features, or faint anomalies in Lincoln's facial features, appeal to collectors who specialize in patterned coins. a category where experimental or unusual coins are valued far above face value. The storytelling aspect also plays a huge role. Each coin can be traced to a collector or dealer who first identified its uniqueness. And the journey from discovery to auction adds provenance that increases the collectible value. The numismatic community often tracks these histories meticulously, and owning such a coin is akin to holding a piece of verified history. The value is not merely monetary but also symbolic, representing the unpredictability of minting, the luck involved in discovery, and the meticulous eye required to identify these mistakes. Furthermore, the rarity and value of the 2001-cent coin have led to a surge in related collectibles, including books, guides, and detailed analyses about errors from this year, which in turn fuels public interest and establishes the coin's legend even further. Collectors also study microfeatures such as die rotation, minute doubling on the word liberty, or anomalies in the rim, any of which can dramatically increase the coin's desirability. In addition, the 2000 coin's unique errors serve as a benchmark for authentication in the modern coin market. Experts use the coin as a reference to educate other collectors on spotting high-value mistakes, creating a feedback loop where awareness and value reinforce each other. Beyond the collecting and investing perspectives, the coin has become a cultural symbol, representing the extreme ends of value in something as small and seemingly ordinary as a penny. It challenges perceptions of worth, demonstrating that imperfections, when rare and documented, can turn a simple object into a multi-million-dollar asset. Furthermore, the coin has inspired artistic and documentary projects, with filmmakers and numismatic authors analyzing its story, minting errors, and the human element behind such mistakes. And this cultural attention has only increased awareness and desirability. There is also the psychological element. Owning a coin worth $260 million creates an unparalleled status symbol in the collector world, where the rarity, history, and visual uniqueness combine to make this coin not just money, but a trophy of extreme numismatic achievement. Speculation about future value has also contributed to its worth, as collectors anticipate that in the coming decades, the combination of scarcity, condition, and historical context will push the coin into a valuation even higher than current records. This speculation is informed by market trends where previously ordinary errors have ballooned in price once their rarity and historical context were widely recognized. In the case of the 2001-cent coin, each factor, the doubled die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, die cracks, die clashes, mint provenance, condition, auction history, cultural significance, and speculation, comes together to create an almost perfect storm that justifies a valuation in the hundreds of millions. In addition, the story of discovery is compelling. Many of these coins were found by ordinary collectors or bank tellers who noticed something unusual, and their journey from discovery to auction adds a human narrative to the technical errors, making the coin's story relatable and fascinating. Some coins were even found in circulation, which is astonishing given their rarity, and this discovery in everyday life adds an element of serendipity. Last 1981 1-cent coin. Today we are exploring an incredible story in the world of rare coins, focusing on the 1981 1-cent USA coin, a coin that has astounded collectors and investors alike and is valued at an astonishing $56 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. This coin represents one of the most fascinating cases in modern numismatics where a seemingly ordinary penny has transformed into a multi-million-dollar treasure, and we will take a deep dive into every aspect that makes this coin so uniquely valuable. Starting with the context of its production, the year 1981 was a period of significant output for the United States Mint, with millions of Lincoln cents produced across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Yet even in mass production, errors can occur, and in this instance, a combination of die mistakes, misstrikes, planchet anomalies, and minting irregularities created a coin that is both rare and highly prized. One of the most prominent features of this coin is the doubled die error, a phenomenon that occurs when the die used to strike the coin has an image that is slightly misaligned or impressed twice, resulting in a doubling effect on the lettering, date, or portrait. In the case of the 1981 penny, experts have noted significant doubling on Lincoln's bust, particularly on the cheek, jawline, and the word liberty, as well as on the date 1981. making the coin immediately recognizable to trained collectors and adding a level of uniqueness that drastically increases its value. Beyond the doubled die, some specimens exhibit off-center strikes, where the planchet was not perfectly aligned under the die, resulting in parts of Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions being partially cut off. These misalignments are highly desirable because they are rare and visually striking, offering a coin that is not only an object of financial value but also a piece of visual intrigue. In addition, certain coins from this year were struck on defective planchets, sometimes with laminations or flaws in the metal, which caused portions of the surface to peel or show unexpected texture. These planchet errors, when combined with other anomalies, elevate the coin to a higher tier of rarity, making it incredibly valuable to collectors seeking unusual examples from modern coinage. Another factor contributing to the value is the presence of die cracks and die clashes. Small fissures or accidental impressions that appear due to wear and mishandling of the dies themselves. On the 1981 cent, these die cracks are visible as raised lines extending across Lincoln's bust or along the coin's rim, while die clashes leave faint ghost images of the opposing die, sometimes creating a double image effect that further distinguishes these coins from standard production pieces. Collectors often view these features as adding narrative and uniqueness, turning each coin into an individual artifact. In terms of scarcity, the 1981 1-cent era coins are exceptionally rare, with only a few confirmed specimens, and the combination of double die, off-center strike, die cracks, and planchet flaws makes each coin distinct. In numismatic terms, rarity is the most important driver of value, and the fact that only a handful of coins exhibit all these anomalies explains why the valuation has soared into the tens of millions. Condition also plays a critical role, and many of the highest valued examples have been preserved in near-perfect state, showing no post-mint wear or damage. With sharp details, brilliant luster, and clean surfaces, these coins are considered premium quality, and in the world of high-end numismatics, condition can exponentially increase a coin's market price. Provenance is another significant factor, with certain coins tracing back to early discoveries by collectors or dealers who recognized the unusual features and carefully documented their acquisition and preservation. This historical traceability not only ensures authenticity but also enhances collectible value, as numismatic buyers are willing to pay significant premiums for coins with verified history. Beyond physical characteristics, the rarity and value of the 1981 cent have been reinforced through high-profile auctions and media coverage. Each sale introduces the coin to a wider audience, creating a sense of legend around it and drawing in collectors who are eager to participate in a market where scarcity and condition can create multi-million-dollar outcomes. This exposure further drives value by increasing demand among those who understand the historical and technical significance of these era coins. Beyond traditional errors, some coins exhibit variations in the strike pressure, resulting in weak or incomplete impressions in certain areas, especially on Lincoln's shoulder. The words, "In God We Trust," or the date itself. This type of error is often subtle but highly prized by specialists because it represents a moment in the minting process where the machinery malfunctioned, creating a one-of-a-kind result that cannot be replicated. The combination of major and minor errors adds layers of complexity and uniqueness, creating a coin that is both a study in minting anomalies and a rare collectible artifact. Additionally, the 1981 cent has attracted attention due to its misalignment with the mint mark, particularly on coins from the Denver Mint, where the D appears slightly rotated or offset from standard placement. These minor deviations are subtle but detectable to trained eyes and can significantly enhance value in the collector market. Experts often examine each coin under magnification to verify these features, adding an element of scientific and technical study to the process of valuation. Beyond technical examination, aesthetic appeal contributes to the coin's desirability, and the interplay of doubling, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws often results in visually striking patterns, creating coins that are not only valuable but also beautiful in a unique sense. This dual appeal, financial and visual, attracts a wide range of collectors, from serious investors to numismatic enthusiasts who appreciate the artistry inherent in unintentional minting anomalies. The market dynamics surrounding the coin are also noteworthy, with each publicized sale creating a feedback loop where media coverage fuels collector interest, increasing perceived scarcity and demand, which in turn drives prices even higher. It's not merely the coin itself but the story, the rarity, and the community surrounding it that amplify its value. In addition, speculation about the coin's potential for appreciation has created a fervent market, with collectors recognizing that coins with verified rare errors often increase in value over decades, particularly when they are modern enough to have precise provenance yet old enough to be considered historic. The 1981 1-cent coin sits perfectly within this sweet spot, combining age, rarity, and technical anomaly, making it a prime candidate for investment-grade collecting. There is also an element of human fascination with error, rarity, and chance, as the 1981 coin represents a perfect storm where mechanical imperfections intersect with historical context to create something extraordinary. Collectors are drawn to the narrative that a small misalignment, a slight doubling, or a minor planchet flaw can transform a common penny into a treasure worth millions. This psychological and cultural dimension adds intangible value beyond the physical characteristics of the coin itself. In addition, the coin serves as an educational example, demonstrating to collectors and students of numismatics how errors occur during minting, the types of mistakes that can be preserved, and the ways that rarity, condition, and provenance contribute to market value. Each coin becomes a case study in the complex world of modern numismatics, providing insight into the minting process, error detection, and valuation principles. Furthermore, the 1981 cent has inspired research, publications, and guides dedicated to identifying, authenticating, and evaluating error coins, which in turn enhances collector knowledge and awareness, further establishing the coin's reputation as a legendary piece. Some coins even display unusual surface toning, a result of storage conditions, chemical reactions, or variations in the copper plating, and these visual anomalies can make certain examples even more desirable, with subtle shades and patterns adding uniqueness and aesthetic interest that collectors prize. The story of discovery also adds mystique, as many coins were found in circulation or acquired by ordinary individuals who recognized something unusual, bringing the coin from an everyday object into the limelight. These discoveries are often documented and shared in numismatic circles, further enhancing the coin's legend and contributing to its high valuation. Security, authentication, and insurance also play a role at this level of value. Owners of multimillion-dollar coins invest in professional grading services, protective holders, and secure storage, all of which serve to maintain value and ensure confidence in the market, reinforcing the perception that the 1981 1-cent coin is not merely a collectible but a rare, investment-grade artifact. The coin has also become a symbol of the power of imperfection and rarity, demonstrating that even a small, humble penny, when marked by unique errors and extraordinary provenance, can achieve status.